Welcome back to Fourth String. My name is Stud. I'm here with my best friend, who is also my co-host. How you doing, bud?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a nice, cold, tasty beverage. What's up, buddy? We're doing good. Doing good. Let's rock it.
So I'm assuming you feel all right.
Oh, I feel great. It's
That's
been a
good.
great day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as some people like to say. Lots happened since last week, so we got a good day ahead of us.
Oh yeah, we got apparently just every possible free agent found a home.
Oh, we ain't talking about that yet. Hold up. We
What are you
got
talking
a very important thing to talk about first. 15%.
15%. How about we tell
15%.
So, but
What is
wait,
15%, Stud? What is this? What
Uh,
is this? 15%.
15%
So
is
like not 14, but 15.
yes, not 14 or 16. It's 15%. 15%. What is it again?
15%?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah. So,
50%. Yeah.
all right, 15% for the next 2 weeks
Oh,
off of our brand new merch that drops
Merch.
when the episode drops. 15%.
yep.
Go get your stuff.
15%.
We'll be repping. Get your stuff. It's going to be sick.
15%.
15%. 50% off. Go get your
2
merch.
weeks.
The link will be below.
We
Get the stuff.
purposely put it out on a Friday because Fridays are
Payday, baby.
Paydays.
Or,
I know that
if you want to use a stimmy, go ahead.
some of us got $1,400
Most.
plus another $1,400 for children, depending on who you are. You got some money.
Yeah, so don't be stingy.
Friday's payday. You got
I don't mean
2
that.
Fridays. So if you don't get paid today, Friday, you can just buy merch the following Friday. And guess what? It's still 15% off.
Hey, what you're saying is you got no excuse. So use the
Yes.
15% off.
You purposely did
Get
Friday.
your 4-string merch. That's all we're going to say about that. All right, moving on.
Wait.
Free agent frenzy.
One more. 15%.
All right. Well done.
All right.
All right. Free agent frenzy, baby.
Free
It's been a
agent.
pretty crazy week since last week.
Say so.
A lot has happened. Honestly, we don't have enough time in an episode to talk about all the free agents that signed into different teams. So we're going to talk about the important stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. Starting it off, true or not, Stud, the Chicago Bears,
False.
aka might be the worst franchise in all of sport.
Okay, well, that's true.
They offered 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and 2 starters for Russell Wilson. True or not?
Okay, that's absolutely true because Ryan Pace is that kind of an idiot who would pay his entire payroll, all of his draft picks, every key player he has for one person. So absolutely, I believe that that's true solely because Ryan Pace would exactly do that. He would.
So in that circumstance, who's the bigger idiot? Ryan Pace for making that offer, or the Seahawks for not taking that offer?
Well, I mean, clearly Ryan Pace for putting all that out there, but
I mean, that's a
however,
load, but we are talking about Russell Wilson
that's
and
true.
the Seahawks. Like, if that is true, how can you not take that? That's a haul and a half.
I mean, I think we talked about it last episode where I said Pete Carroll should go first before Russ, but obviously you can't trade coaches. So if you
You're going with him.
yeah, so if you receive such a lopsided offer for one player, I mean, I don't know why they would not have said yes makes me think it wasn't true, but I would not be surprised if it was true because that's exactly the kind of offer that Ryan Pace would put out there.
I would agree with that, but
Yeah.
I think it's bonkers. And I'm going to say it's not true because, yes, Ryan Pace was an absolute idiot if he did that, but the Seahawks GM, whose name is misplacing me right now,
Yeah, I
is
don't
just
remember
as
his name.
dumb if he didn't take that. So you're not even worth the name look up at that point.
Yeah.
Next question. Moving
okay.
on. Deshaun Watson violated 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 massage therapists. True or not?
I mean, I feel like there's context that's a part of this because I feel like he probably did some flirting because, he thinks, hey, I'm however old he is, 24, 25, I don't know how old he is. I'm rich. I'm one of the top quarterbacks in all of football. I can flirt with whoever I choose. So I'm sure that happened. Now, now the claims of he quote unquote violated them could be maybe a false accusation, but I don't have all the facts, and I don't think that they've even put out all the facts.
They
so
haven't.
I believe they have. Oh well,
Have not.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, shit.
He's like, oh, okay. Well, I got to go look those up then.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'll be right back. No, so they have not put out all the facts.
No.
So I believe that there is context to that hasn't been put out there, but I do believe that he probably tried to pull, hey, I'm Deshaun Watson. I get paid $40 million in a calendar year. Like, how you doing? And I'm sure that they were like, ooh, if I make a false accusation, I could receive a part of that $40 million every year. So I believe part of that, but I also am saying let's wait until all the facts are out because I'm sure there's some context here that has not been spoken.
But anything that the media puts out there is already facts. So
apparently, yes.
Yeah. My take on it is I think the Texans planted it.
Ooh,
and here's why.
Hot take.
Because
okay,
it's definitely a hot take, but here's why.
It's a warm take.
Whatever. Hot, warm, it's all the same. If the Texans plant something like that, immediately Deshaun's value to other teams goes down. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe we'll just take what the Bears offered for Russ, if it's real or not. Let's say Deshaun is worth 3 first-round draft picks. The Texans plant that. Well, now the other teams are going to make these offers of only 2, because, he's a bad guy or he's in the papers about being investigated. He's not the character piece that we want. By the Texans planting that, it decreases that value. So then the trade offers don't come in and they can say, well, sorry, we just didn't get any trade offers that were worth our agreements or our terms.
That is a good conspiracy. Obviously, whether
it's
true
definitely
or
a conspiracy, but
yeah. Obviously, whether it's true or not, I'm sure only a handful of people actually know that, and they aren't us.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I would not be surprised if they tried to pull something like that because he is so unhappy that they would try to say, like, hey, we tried. Sorry, man, but looks like you have to play here.
Looks like you're stuck making $40 million here with us.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Sorry. How will you survive?
Yeah. So that would not surprise me, but also it's like, did that actually happen though?
Okay, maybe it wasn't the Texans organization per se, but maybe those 3 women were in a conspiracy. They want Deshaun to stay.
I mean, we could play what ifs all day, and I love playing it. However, on something like this, it's obviously like it's just something that you can't really conspire over until you have all the facts in place. And we
Right.
obviously do not have all the facts in place. So
Nope.
how we can move forward on such a conspiracy is a little out of our hands.
Listen to the media. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's
I'm gonna
always
do that.
a smart thing.
All right. Some other things that happened in free agency is I mentioned that the Bears are probably the worst franchise in all of history.
Hey, they found their franchise quarterback though
The
for the next year.
Red Rocket, baby.
Red Rocket,
No, okay. So
Andrew Dalton.
you go from
Oh.
that major deal, presumably, to your fallback plan is letting go of Mitch Trubisky and signing Andy Dalton to a 1-year, $10 million deal. With that said, I want to play a quick song.
They got a reputation that's mostly based on luck. The Bears still suck. 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 We really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck.
Okay.
Yeah. How can you not agree with that song? I mean, really, like, I'm not saying that letting go of Trubisky was the wrong move, even though Trubisky is like their number one stats leader pretty much of all time. Well, not quite of all time, but he's up there. He's honestly not okay. He's not good, but he's not that bad. And how much did you really upgrade with Andy Dalton?
Not at all.
Not a whole lot, if you ask me.
I'd rather have.
I mean, the
Foles out there,
guy went to 7 straight postseasons with the Bengals and has not won a playoff game. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, the Bears still suck, but we love it as
do.
Packer fans.
What I found kind of, I wouldn't say funny. I thought it was cute. Was that I saw that the Vikings signed Patrick Peterson. That's cute because Devontae is still smoking him. I'm sorry.
That would have been a great matchup like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm about to say
At least Pat Pete's age. Like Devontae 5 years ago, not so much. But
like 2015 Pat Pete versus today. Devontae.
That would have been a hell of a matchup.
That'd be awesome. But today,
Devontae still would have cooked that Pat Pete. But
that's true. But today is smoking.
Oh, 100%.
Pat Pete. So
I don't even know if they'll put him on it.
Signing. They shouldn't.
Well, I mean, low key, I'm kind of salty about it because I wanted Pat Pete to come to the
So did
Pack.
I.
So
How about to say it's one thing having to be put on Tay, but he could still hold plenty other dudes.
oh yeah, he can guard most of the twos in the league, which
Yeah.
on our team he would have had to do because Jair's taking any one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but he can still guard twos for sure.
Yeah, which I am kind of upset that we whiffed on that, but hey.
I mean, hey, there's still time. There's a few different options. So, we'll switch gears into the Pack a little bit. You know, the reigning team of the NFC North. Do you think that A, Devontae extends, B, Aaron restructures, or C, none of the above and the Packers make no moves and just continue on with the team that they have? Okay. How do you think the not off season now, technically, because we're in the new season, but how do you think the time from now until training camp will finish out for the Pack?
I'll tell you what will happen, what should happen, and what will probably end up happening. What will happen is at some point in time, I think Devontae will extend. I think that he just has found his home. So I think that will happen.
Okay.
Rodgers should restructure. He is not short money by any means.
And
And
he's going to be a father and a husband now.
it's about,
Well, father's not yet, but
I'm about to say,
he said he wants
confirm
to be
that?
a father.
Can we confirm that? No?
He said he wants to be a father.
Oh, okay. Well, he should restructure.
Yes.
I think it's about that time that he starts to take a page out of Tom Brady's book and start
I
taking
was going to say that.
maybe a little less money.
I was going to say that
maybe
because as much as
restructure.
I can't stand Tom Brady, the guy's no dummy because clearly he's okay with taking pay cuts and just winning bowls. So,
Exactly. And I think that that's probably what should happen.
but I still hate him.
So
So
what will probably end up happening is your C. The Packers
None of the above?
will not do a goddamn thing, and they will keep the same team out there, and they'll probably throw out their first and second round picks in some way, shape, or form. So,
God, I hate that.
and then
I mean, okay, but
Rodgers
least
will
on
take
the-
us to another NFC Championship game, and it'll be the same song 3 years in a row.
Please, God, don't let that happen. I mean, at least on the bright side, they did honestly have a pretty solid offseason. I mean, they didn't get anybody new, which I don't love, but we were able to keep, I would say, the guys that we needed to keep.
Outside of
I mean,
Corey Linsley.
Outside of Lindsley, I mean, I would have loved to keep him for sure, but the guy got a huge payday with the Chargers.
did.
I mean, you can't really blame him for taking that. We couldn't give him that.
Yeah.
So you can't really be too upset about that. You're able to restructure Preston's contract, which basically got you to keep Aaron Jones, which Aaron Jones is to us for a freaking steal. I mean, he got a $13 million signing bonus, which effectively turns his salary for this year and next to like $1 million. So he's making $1 million this year and $1 million next year in his salary, which, like, for cap purposes,
Helps the cap.
holy hell, that
That
is
helps
a
the cap.
huge plus. So thank you, Aaron Jones, for staying. We know you could have gotten a bigger payday elsewhere. You weren't full of shit when you said that you wanted to stay a Packer for life. So we appreciate that. But I do think that the Packers have had a solid offseason. I mean, as weird as that seems, like,
I'd
we
say
didn't
so.
really lose anybody huge. They
The
gave the
only
tender to Tunyon,
Yeah.
so he'll be back. They're
only
keeping
thing
Chin
that-
and Sullivan. He'll be back.
I would say the only thing that you can kind of improve upon, or well, no, not improve upon, but now do moving forward, is you have to replace Lindsley. So
Yeah.
probably spending
Which that's going to be in the draft.
Yeah, so it'll probably be spending a first
Yep.
rounder,
Yep.
maybe a second if you find another corner. So, but I do think that your top two like have to replace is Lindsley.
Yep.
And that man who cost us the NFC Championship game. I don't even want to say who he is because I don't like him, but we all know.
Well,
who
he shouldn't
is.
be. He shouldn't be too hard to replace, if you know what I mean.
To be honest, I'd feel better if we put you in pads and put you out there.
That's a good one.
I know.
I mean, okay. I can honestly say that I would not have given up that last play because to me, that's just sheer dumbness. I don't even think dumbness is a word, but it is for him because last play of the game, Pettin took a lot of heat for that because Pettin should have been in, I think it was Kirksey at the time, his headset and said, hey, last play of the half, don't let them in the end zone. Don't let anybody behind you. It's that simple. What did he do? Let the fastest guy on the field behind him. I mean, I get it. He's a short little white guy. He probably didn't see him, but and he was so quick.
Revenge.
He's like Speedy Gonzalez.
Play prevent. That's all you got to do.
Right.
Play,
If you know what,
prevent.
if they complete a Hail Mary off a tip or somebody just mosses you, hey,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is. But I can honestly say that I would not have let anyone behind me. Now, if he jumps over me like he's probably going to do because I'm 5'10", and have no hops, like
Get
you couldn't even
mossed.
get a piece of paper under my feet when I jump. So, I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to get mossed. But like he's not getting behind me. He might get over the top of me, but he's not getting behind me.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm over it. I promise. We won't talk about it. But
Point being, we have to replace Lindsley in the draft,
Yes.
and we should for
and
sure
we need a
replacement for
corner
King.
help, and we also have to replace Kirksey because I
Say
think
so
he was
too.
a solid middle linebacker, and now we need
for sure is.
that middle linebacker help. So
I feel like you can either find that a little bit later on in the draft, or maybe find a cheap veteran somewhere. I feel like obviously that's an important position, but I mean, you don't have to have like a top tier
well, I mean,
middle linebacker
Kirksey
out
was
there.
hurt for like 7 games roughly last season, so it's like they have experience of playing without him.
Mhm.
So I mean, and I do think that like Oren Burks, there's a few other linebackers that we have can step in, but it's like, you would like to have somebody like truly just accept that role and step in and like just kind of go nuts and be the new like Luke Kuechly of the Packers,
Or we
but-
could just convince Luke Kuechly to come out of retirement and
Oh my God, I
come to the
wish.
Packers.
Beast.
That would be nuts.
That'd be insane.
Talk about retiring way too early.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I wish that would happen, but it probably won't. Actually, I know it won't. So
Yeah, no, I can put money on the fact that
yeah.
that won't happen.
So let's talk about the guys that we did lose. We mentioned Lindsley. Obviously that sucks.
Today,
it is what it is. We kind of
Today-
saw that
yeah.
coming, I think, because they
Yeah,
were
I
either
think so,
gonna
too.
they were either gonna go with Jones or Lindsley. And as soon as you saw Jones re-sign, I was like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Guess that means Lindsley's gone.
Yeah.
So you knew he was
Um,
kind of going. The thing I don't understand though, Jamal Williams and Tim Boyle. Now we went on this whole we
Yeah.
went on this whole rant last week.
Well, it sucks for us. I'm sorry to cut you off. It sucks for us because the timing of that was terrible. Because that Tim Boyle tender, or non-tender, came like what 6 hours
Hours.
after we
Yeah, something like that.
6 hours after we put up our episode. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, our entire episode is now just thrown out.
Yeah,
Because-
pretty much.
He just talked about how he could be a Packer, how he could do this, how he could do that, and like.
Well, I mean, it's
6 hours
what
later,
we said wasn't
it's
wrong
gone.
though, because we were talking about how we felt that he was good enough to start for a team.
Yeah,
I still agree with that 100%. The Lions were not in one of the teams that I had thought about. But honestly, I could definitely see the backfield of the Lions being Tim Boyle and Jamal Williams back there. 100%. I think he could
So
beat out
you'd
Jared
think-
Goff.
You'd think he could beat out Jared Goff.
I truly do, yes. Jared Goff is nothing special.
I'm not saying he is, but you can't pay your backup $30 million though. So you'd have
So
to
they
either
release him.
I mean, you probably either have to do that or hopefully trade him to, I don't know, say Fitzpatrick's sucks over in
See, but
Washington.
you also
and
don't
you
have to
trade-
look at it that way. You can look at it more as I'm paying my starting quarterback $32 million because that's the cost of both of them. Because Boyle signed for like a 2.5 or 2.25 or something. So like if you look at it that way, I mean, you're paying $32 million for two of them. That's not that bad. So it's like you're paying Boyle 15 and you're paying your backup 15.
I mean,
16, but whatever.
I
That's
always
not
say
that bad.
I always say it's all about perspective because it is. However,
It
it's
is.
like, yeah,
I'm just saying, I think
that expensive
I think-
backup.
I think when the laser show shows up to Motown, they're going to be in for some kind of like high eyebrows because I don't know if they really even understand
So
like
uh,
how good he can be.
now that he plays for the Lions, do you think he has to trade in whatever car he has for a Ford?
They probably give him a Ford.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Probably.
hey, thanks for coming to our team. Here you go. Here are the keys to your new truck or whatever you want. Yeah,
Here's a
hey.
Ford.
And there's got to be some
Raptor.
sort of perks of playing there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, hey.
Fuck it.
I mean, if they tossed a Ford Raptor in front of me, I'd be like, okay, I'll be there.
I mean, I'm not saying week one Tim Boyle's a starter. I'm not saying that because fact of the matter is he's going to have to learn a new offense, which then again, so is Jared Goff.
So does, yeah. So
But I do think that because of, kind of the trade package that Goff was involved in, they're expecting Goff to be the starter.
Yep.
But I would not be surprised if by week 4, Goff not putting up that good of numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if it's made this switch. What do they got to lose? Give him a shot.
I mean, yeah, it's true. It isn't as if they're in the hunt or they're a
No.
competitive team.
Goff
I
is
mean, they-
beatable too. He's not.
They really
He's
aren't.
not all that good.
Yeah, no, to be honest, if he was competent in that Super Bowl, they probably would have won it.
Tim Boyle wins that Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Mic drop.
So the episode is over now.
Well, no, actually, because my mic's right here and I didn't realize it until after I dropped it over here. But
Okay.
anyway, I look. Tim Boyle's my guy, so I go out there and I say this stuff about him, obviously, because it's what you do. But realistically, I do think he can compete for that starting spot. So I think it was a good move for him. Jamal, same thing. I think he will be the number 1 back for Detroit, which is what he wanted.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, it'll be.
I'm happy for both of them. Long story short,
I think that Jamal and Carry On will be a pretty solid 1-2
yeah.
pack over there. I mean, I'm still obviously not even close to afraid of the Lions.
No.
Not saying that they aren't able to beat us because they obviously have in recent past, but at the end of the season, they're for the most part 4th in the division.
I would almost put them ahead of the Bears.
You think
Low
so?
key. Low key, I would.
Okay, I know the Bears suck, but do they suck that bad?
I mean, I think so. They're pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, their Super Bowl is if they beat the Packers. So,
Yeah, which you ain't even going to do that. So, congratulations. You still have not a Super Bowl entry. So,
Yep.
well, no, you'll enter it, but you're not going to win it. So,
No. So, anyways,
you'll enter
back
it
to
twice,
our
actually.
list of Packers who we lost free agency. Today, I saw a little pop up on my phone that said Travius Adams signed with the Pats.
Yeah.
Put him
Yep.
on the list of the Belichick spending spree,
Oh my goodness.
which I think we can kind of
go through that
go
list
to-
real quick because that was insanity. Like Bill Belichick took 2020 as the Pats season, like majorly personal. He did not like
insert
sucking.
the MJ meme, and I took it personally. Like he did that.
Right,
Like
right.
he pulled the MJ. Okay, so I have the very long list, and prior to me even saying this, let's remind ourselves that Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung are coming back because
Yep.
they were opt-outs.
Correct.
That in itself is insane.
Yep.
Plus you add Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Talk about tight end, just
Insanity.
wow. And then you add Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar. Shit. That is, I mean, it's Cam Newton is going to have some targets.
Oh, for sure.
And
Which he
some
lacked
nice-
last year.
Exactly. And then the other end of the football, he signed Matthew Judon. I probably effed that up.
No, I think that was right.
Dietrich Wise, Devon Godchow. I don't know how to pronounce that one.
Sure, it's not got you.
Got you. Henry Anderson, Jalen Mills, and Justin Pethel re-signed. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money and it's a lot of guys. I mean,
But if anybody has the money, it's Robert Kraft. So I'm not surprised. My question to you, does all of these signings, COVID, opt-out returns, all that, does this propel the Patriots back on top of the AFC East?
On top of the AFC East, yes. On top of the AFC, not so sure we're there. I do think that Cam Newton is going to be better. I mean, how could he not? Because really, he can't play much worse. So,
Plus, he
but
actually
now, I
has
mean, like-
targets now.
well, yeah, and with all those the weapons that you mentioned, I mean, I just don't see how he can't be better. So, like, the Patriots are definitely going to make the playoffs. I'll say that for
yes.
sure. Whether it's wild card,
Put
winning
money
the
on that.
division, whatever, they're going to make the playoffs. They have way too many guys not to. So, barring an injury, they'll be in the playoffs. They've reached that aspect. Will they beat the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Browns?
Yeah, hey.
I don't know. You better hope you're hot at the end of the season type of thing,
It's true.
because those are going to be
I can
tough
s-
teams.
I can see them getting hot, showing up to an AFC championship, but then, I mean, you just can't take out the Chiefs as the favorites. I mean, as
Honestly,
long
I don't
as
know. I'm starting to lean toward the Bills, man.
you think so,
Bills got Trubisky now.
they do. They got big old Mitch. They got Mitch. Hey, dude,
I'm
if
sorry.
if
I'm
if
sorry.
Josh Allen goes down, I'm putting all my money on the
Oh
Bills for the
man, it's
Super
Bills
Bowl.
Mafia season at that
Bills
point.
Mafia, dude. I want to jump through a table, honestly. Like it's Bills Mafia for life. I'm here for
They
you.
probably want to hit him with a table.
They want to choke slam through the table.
Right. I mean, no, all jokes aside though, the Bills are tough, man. And they
They are
just
tough.
keep adding people and they get better. So I mean I do think that they're gonna really compete with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs got kind of exposed in the Super Bowl a little bit. So
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, all you have to do is take out a offensive line and you win.
well, no, I mean you gotta have a good pass rush. You gotta get after Mahomes. And if you can do that, I mean,
not really, because
slow him
with
down.
that pass rush, he was making insane throws that
but his
had
guys
they
weren't
figured
catching
out
him.
how-
So what difference
well,
did it make?
exactly. Well, like had they actually caught the ball, hey, like it don't matter if that pass rush is sick. he's a freak tossing it from
I mean, yeah, but
like
most of those
180
passes were in the
degrees.
fourth quarter desperation throws, anyways. They were already smacked at that point. So it's like
Yeah.
it didn't matter. And he got sacked like what, 4 or 5 times, and he was running for another 20 different times beside that. Like, you get after Mahomes. I mean, actually, really, you get after any quarterback that well, like the Buccaneers did. I mean, you're going to create serious problems.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the Chiefs were a little exposed. I'm not saying that they're not still the number one team in the East, the AFC, but I don't know if they're like a lock anymore to be, oh, yeah, the Chiefs are coming out of the AFC,
Yeah.
no doubt. Because, I mean, there's
That
some good teams over there.
that I can see for sure. And I mean, even if the Browns are hot, they
Getting
got
OBJ back
coming
too.
back.
Yeah.
He's a playmaker.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You saw him torch who did he like kill our play on? It was
Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
That man single-handedly cost us how much money because
it
he
was
just
a solid
torched
few
him.
grand. Yeah.
Torched him.
Yeah, that was a solid
He's a
few grand.
playmaker. Like if
Yeah.
he comes back,
Oh, I hate him for it.
shit.
But I hate him for it, but it is what it is.
Browns aren't to be.
No, I
Pushed
said that in the
aside.
playoffs. I said it pretty much every pod that we've talked about the Browns. I do think they're a tough team. Plus, I mean, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, you can't really count them out.
Nope.
And now the Pats, who knows what's going to happen with Miami? I mean,
Yeah.
Miami just signed Will Fuller.
Yeah.
They could be solid. You don't
Yeah.
really know what's
Plus
going to
they got
happen in
that-
Jacksonville. I mean,
They got.
Urban Meyer?
I say
Question mark?
they got Urban Meyer. They're gonna have
Trevor Lawrence on the way. I mean,
I would, to be honest, I might buy that Trevor Lawrence Jaguar jersey just because that thing probably is gonna look so smooth. But
barf.
I can't say they'll be playoff bound in their first season, but if they continue to make these type
talking
of
about the Jags?
moves, yes,
Okay.
to Jacksonville, if
Yep.
they can continue to make these moves that they've been kind of pulling,
Mhm.
shit, before you have to pay Trevor Lawrence, you might see him in an AFC championship.
Right.
Because if you have
I mean,
him
Urban Meyer.
showing out on his rookie deal,
Right here.
you never know. Urban.
Urban Meyer. Okay. If you haven't read this book, read it. Above the Line. Urban Meyer. It's all about his coaching. The guy's a genius. Okay.
For all of you on
And
Spotify
he
and,
knows-
Apple,
And he knows how
that
to
was
win.
Urban Meyer above the line.
I did just say that, but okay.
I couldn't really hear you. Like
Oh,
it
okay.
was,
Well, anyway, it's a great book about his kind of coaching strategies and what he does to win. And the guy is a football genius. So,
that he is.
and he's been in big games.
There is always the kind of the argument of can he transition from college into the pros?
It's obviously a little bit harder, a little bit faster.
Because you've obviously seen these very great coaches have success in college who go to the pros and suck, and then vice versa.
Right. I was going to say,
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Yeah.
say that the best college coach that converted to a pro, just off the top of my head in the league now, would probably be Pete Carroll.
I'd say so. Yeah.
I mean, anytime you get a Super Bowl victory, you're a solid coach. So
Yeah.
it's like,
I mean, he didn't even really have to do a ton in USC because he just had the most
had the guys.
the most unreal team in that 3 seasons span like that's ever played college football. Maybe outside of the 2000 Miami team, but like you can't.
This guy.
Tim Tebow. Oh yeah. Well, I
For,
mean,
yeah,
it's,
for you
yeah.
Spotify and Apple viewers or listeners, Tim Tebow and that Florida team. Oof. Or Johnny
Yeah.
Manziel with Texas A&M. Those are arguably the best college teams of all time.
I mean, I
no, I
would
can't even
I
say
wouldn't
Can't even
put
say
the
it. No.
Johnny Manziel team because
Not those
national
not those
championship.
teams, but those players. Like Tebow and Manziel were two of the best college players of all
Oh,
time
for
that ended up being nothing in the NFL. So
Tebow, I wouldn't say was nothing, but he was way more than Johnny was.
okay, for the expectations you had for him though, not so much.
That's
Coming out of Florida, like
that's a fact.
anyway, totally off topic.
This is obviously like you said, Pete Carroll had success transitioning from college into NFL. Now this is wrong sport, but it's someone who had success transitioning from the pros into college. John Calipari
Mhm.
was the coach of the was the coach of the Nats, was pretty much it with them, transitions over to college and pretty much created a powerhouse for Kentucky. Sure, it's the wrong sport, but it's same end of the spectrum.
I mean, honestly, to totally shift gears, I do have a basketball question for you.
I'm here for it.
So it concerns last night.
Okay.
Giannis.
Giannis.
We've talked about him before. I obviously love Giannis.
I
wanna know-
Is this the MVP back-to-back MVP Giannis, or is
It's about to
this
be
some
it's
other
about
Giannis?
to be 3-time
Okay.
MVP back to back to back.
Okay. So it's the man with the
way he's
multiple
playing-
MVPs, Giannis.
The way he's
Okay.
playing, he's about to get his third.
Okay.
Anyway, so at the end of the game last night, when he put the dagger on Dwight Howard, he ran half court and sat down on him, basically telling the 76ers to sit down. You guys are cooked. I cooked you. Game over. Go home. Number 1 team in the East, my ass. The Bucks are coming. Do you think it was kind of like a disrespectful thing, or was it earned? I mean, Dwight Howard wanted to stone cold stunner him. That's what he said in the post-game interview. So there's that. But Giannis did have 19 of his 32 total points. And I'm pretty sure like 7 or 8 of his 15 rebounds between the fourth quarter and OT. Like he put the team on his back and ended that and put Philly away.
Okay. That is as earned can possibly be. When the 76ers damn near hang a Christmas Day victory in the rafters from 2
Yeah.
seasons ago, when they have Joel Embiid crying after every either foul or loss or shit, even if they beat us, there's always something from that Philly team. It's always some
Yeah.
sort of kind of poke here, poke
Yeah.
there. He should have sat down and did some angels on the floor. Like, fuck him. You kidding me? With everything that Philly has done to us. But,
Honestly,
because he sat
Philly
down,
reminds
get outta
me
here.
of like how the Bears are with the Packers.
Oh, for
like-
sure.
Like
They-
their big game or their goal is not to win an NBA Finals championship. It's to just beat the Bucks. Kind of feel that way about the Celtics too. You know, like they don't really care how they do in the postseason or anything like that. They just want to beat the Bucks. And Giannis said in the his post game interview, is there something wrong with having fun? Like
No.
Giannis wouldn't hurt a fly. The guy's just like, he's a damn comedian, basically. Like, he's just out there having a good time, like, and Dwight Howard, of all people,
Yeah.
gonna get upset about it. Dude,
This guy.
do you know how many stupid, questionable, disrespectful things you've done in your career? I don't even
Yeah.
want to hear that shit.
Go back to your days for Orlando, and you really think that you were so straight edge?
Right.
Get the hell
Yeah.
out of here, guy. Get the
Bye.
hell out of here, guy.
Yeah. We don't want to hear that. Like,
Like,
No,
if
that's
you put it
garbage.
out, you have to be able to take it back to, and that
and
goes with.
I mean, that's kind of always how I've thought about Dwight Howard. Like, he just seems like that type of dude he'll dish it out all day long. I mean, all game last night, he's going to the crowd like, give me more loudness and, be energetic because we feed off of that. All game, just going like this.
Yeah.
Even that's considered taunting. So it's like, yeah, okay, it's not as big of a spectacle because he was doing it all game and whatever, but it's like, I'm sure that Dante DiVincenzo saw that and was like, bro, get out of here. Like, you're washed up as hell. Go sit your ass down. The only reason you're in
For
the
sure.
game is because Embiid is hurt. Like,
Yeah.
calm your
And
tits.
The only reason that you have that shiny ring on your finger is because of you know who, LeBron and AD.
Who? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Those guys.
Corona Cup.
The Corona Cup. Does that really count?
Corona
Actually, kind of the last topic I want to talk to you about. So I know you saw it. I don't know who else that's listening to this, but Christian Yelich was on Mike Studs You
Ooh.
Never Know podcast. It was released like 2 nights ago.
Cup. Yeah,
So they were talking about length of season. And the reason I thought of this was because of the, kind of the COVID ring when you're
Mhm.
talking about,
COVID, yeah.
that. So Yelly made just an unbelievable point because I've always thought that the MLB season was too long. 162 games. It's hard to really get excited about all the games. It's like you watch opening day, maybe a few games after that. Then you kind of just have a lull a little bit where it's like, oh yeah, the Brewers are playing. Cool. They've played every day for the past 20 days.
yeah,
Whoop-de-doo. It's hard. Like it's a lot of games. So
Mhm.
6-month span of baseball. It's tough. But Yelly made an absolutely awesome point that when I heard it, I was like, damn, I kind of feel stupid for thinking the other way now. He said, you can't really change it because, for one, it's been that way forever. So you can't just make the season shorter now because then all these records, all these series wins, stats, all this stuff are based on different numbers. So it's like, you're kind of changing everything from
Yeah.
history. Number two, you feel that within that 6 months time, you really find out who the guys are, like who the
Oh, for
beasts
sure.
of the league are. When he said that, I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
damn, you're right. Because a guy can get hot for a month
yeah.
and just tear it up. But to do it for 6 months all season long, if you're doing that, you're a beast and you deserve to be
Exactly.
recognized. And that's how they choose the Cy Young, the MVP, the hitting awards, all that stuff. Like,
Rookie of the year. Yeah,
yeah, all that
All
stuff. I mean, so it's so interesting to think about, even though it is a long season, you almost just can't change it because it just kind of is the way it is now.
for sure. And let me kind of start by saying that was an amazing interview. So if you haven't spent the time to listen to it, check it out because it really just changes perspective on.
It's called YNK Podcast. It's Mike interviewing Yelly. It was a great conversation.
It was
If you get some time, definitely listen to it. It was awesome.
that was an insane interview. Like the whole time, I was just like, wow, like he's opening up on a whole new level. And I was just shocked because it was like, he's obviously talks sports on tons of different shows. It's always
Right.
fun to talk sports.
Sure.
But it's
Talk about life and get deep. That's
yes, exactly.
a whole
Like-
different ball game.
Like as soon as someone kind of opens up about who they are on the inside, it's just like, wow.
Yeah,
Make
it,
your
it
eyes
gives
open
you a
up.
whole new respect on him.
Yeah.
I mean, as a huge Yelly fan already, you know,
Yeah,
a Brewer
I was
fan,
a huge fan before.
I
that.
loved him, but it was mainly for his game, you know, and how good he is. I always thought he was kind of a socially awkward dude.
Same here.
But then he
Exact
got
same
on
here.
that, and he still is a little socially awkward. But like
Kind of,
he
yeah.
opened up and was just like chilling with the boys, kind of thing. You
Yeah,
know,
and
like
plus it was so genuine and passionate.
yeah, it was awesome.
Like it was just a whole new kind of perspective on him, and not just him, but essentially the mind of a pro athlete,
Yeah,
because he kind of broke it down to you know how he felt about being drafted, about his
Yeah.
first contract, about his essentially super max type
hmm
contract, and it was just like, wow, like
well, and you know, like when
this
he was
is
talking
raw
about
content here.
right, when what he was talking about with his, you know, like the decision that his parents basically gave him, saying, you know what, you got drafted in the first round, you got college staring you in the face, or you got riding around on a bus, sucking it up in the major leagues or the minor leagues,
Yeah, the minor leagues.
trying to get to the major leagues. It's your choice. We're going to leave it up to you. You can lean on us for, you know, like if you need any type of help with making that decision,
Mhm.
but ultimately it's your life. So
Yeah.
imagine, just try putting yourself back at where you were when you were 18 and trying to make a decision like that. Those
Yeah,
are
and-
decisions that affect the rest of your life.
So it was just like
Insane.
hearing that, and then that also kind of shines light upon who is in your life,
Yeah.
who your family is, who your friends are, because
Yeah.
he had such a supporting family, friends. He had such just a good, positive kind of circle around him, and that for sure has shown today that
Mhm.
that like that was huge for him. He explained how huge that his surrounding people
Right. You know what? And
were
that's
for
so
him.
that's so true. You know, I mean, even for a non-pro athlete like ourselves, you got to have a good sports support system. If
Mhm.
you don't, you're going to have a tough time. But on top of
Exactly.
that, he talked about passion and having a passion and a love for whatever it is that you do, whether it's sports, your job, your school, whatever the case, you got to love what you do at the end of the day. And if you don't,
Exactly.
you got a problem. You're going to struggle.
Yeah, that was just that hit me. That hit me in a spot that I hadn't been hit in a while, because I haven't truly kind of thought from that perspective, or even seen it from that perspective. But
Yeah.
he opened it up to this whole new side, and it was just like, wow, like this
Facts.
is amazing. And at the end of it, my jaw was just dropped.
Yeah,
Like
spot on.
that was probably the best 2 hours I've ever spent, because
yeah.
it kind of taught me
At least on a
ton of-
podcast, for sure.
Oh, for sure. That kind of shines some light on some things like that I can actually
Yeah.
like too as a person.
Mhm.
Sure, I'm obviously not a nine-figure pro athlete, but like I'm a person, and
Right.
so is
Yep.
Gelly, and he kind of made that prominent that he is at the end of the day just a person, same
Right.
as us. He
Spot
isn't
on. Yeah.
any bigger. He isn't any lower. Like he's the same as us. He just has an occupation
Right.
that he's very excelled at.
Yeah.
And it was just this this fantastic interview. So
Agreed.
if you haven't, check it out. I'm telling you, that will just change your whole perspective on so many
Mhm.
different things.
Yeah, it'll definitely put you in a good mood for sure.
Yeah, that was for sure some of the best 2 hours I've ever spent.
Right. Well, we aren't going to spend 2 hours on our podcast, at least not this week. Maybe when we have guests, it pushes 2 hours. But with that being
You know how
said,
it is.
we're kind of getting to that point. So, Stud, my man, you got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I do. I mean, just the direction that we kind of finished at, like it's just make sure that you have a good supporting surrounding circle because that's
Mhm.
crucial for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a pro athlete or the burger flipper over at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like you have to have that positive supporting crew and also remember to be thankful for all those people that are in your circle.
Absolutely. Well
And
said.
yeah, so outside of that, same as same. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, I am ready for that quote. My guy, I am ready for the quote.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So the quote of the week this week is going to be from Mike, actually. And for those of you who don't know Mike, he's a white, we'll call him rapper. I wouldn't exactly, he's not, I mean, he raps, but he's not like
He's also,
he's not
I mean,
the stereotypical rapper.
he's like a part of like, he isn't quite a rapper, but he also isn't like a pop artist.
Right.
He's like kind of.
I mean,
in
actually, when
between.
you look up his music on Apple, some of his songs are country, technically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he kind of just does it all. But anyway, this quote is from him. It's "Don't lose your happiness on the pursuit for more." I think that's perfectly fitting for kind of how we ended this episode.
It is beautiful.
It's so important to find what makes you happy in life and kind of just stay with it. Don't lose yourself in trying to go over the top with things. But with that being said, we are going to wrap her up. We love you. We thank you for joining us. Episode 12 was a success for us. We love doing this with you. And go buy your merch because it will be ready to go. 15%, baby. And we'll see you next time.